All right, so today's video, we're going to be watching a Plat 3 support on PC playing Zenyatta. A rare Zenyatta game. They say, after finally deciding to start grinding support again, I've finally got a game that I feel represents both the good and bad parts of my playstyle and habits. I'm not a one-trick Zenyatta, but I'm close to it. I've been Plat since Season 14, and yet can't find a way to keep ranking up. I was Plat 1 last season, but fell down to mid-Plat and can't find my way back up the pole. The first point or so of this game, I played less than ideally, and though I eventually locked in, after reviewing the game myself, I'm kind of at a loss of what more I could do for my team. I'm not sure if this was a hard-fought loss or if I just threw from my slight lack of heals. Love your videos, and I'd be grateful if I get some feedback. All right, let's go from there, see what happens. On Dorado? I mean, Zen on Dorado's a good pick. I will say that. This is a good pick. So.
Attackers incoming.
Okay.
Stop the payload.
Man, imagine getting rolled. Imagine your position to getting rolled because they put a pylon right next to you. What's going on here, though? You seem like you're... Okay, like you kind of were... I couldn't tell if you liked your position or not. All right, here we go. Yeah, I lost the Genji too, don't worry. Okay. I listen. Okay, I'm gonna teach you something here quickly on Zenyatta. Just slow down right there. Less is more. You were just going back and forth. Some of the toughest Zenyatas I play against don't just run around in circles on the map like that. They just kind of like chill, go for some really good like right-click plays, and then they flank when like the team fight breaks out, not when like it's in the neutral. So I think like you try to go for a flank play there and try to like go for some really early picks, but you kept like going to the same spot over and over again. Eventually they're just gonna do that. So obviously a Widow on Dorado is tough to deal with there, but you kept re-peeking the same spot, that's gonna happen. A lot of the really good Zens I play against, when they get those like really good flank kills, they do it like post team fight when they're set up and they can hide somewhere, or they do it like in the middle of a team fight that breaks out. So, put an orb in your Orisa. There's no reason not to have an orb in your Orisa right now. I'm not gonna have. I don't want you to have an orb on the Orisa the whole game, but there's no reason to give up 5-10% ult charge there just because you decide not to put in the orb. Listen, it's a healing orb. Just put it on somebody. See, I don't even need to talk about priority on what you should put it on right now. I mean, if you want to play it safe, you can put it on your Ana, but like, just put it on somebody because that's ult charge you're gonna miss out on, regardless. I can see your healing numbers now too with the scoreboard, so I'll have a better idea. So like, you see the healing numbers right now? Zenyatta is not a high healing support until the ultimate comes into play. That's where Zenyatta gets a lot of the heals, right? It's not because they just leave an orb on a tank and get 8,000 healing. When you see Zenyatta with really good heal numbers, it means they had valuable, a really good Zenyatta ultimate, an effective one that gives them a bunch of burst heals. Sometimes I think people will look at the healing numbers on Zen and be like, you're not healing anything. Before you get your first Zenyatta ultimate off, your healing numbers aren't going to look too strong. Although you should probably have about 200 more healing. There you go, you put it on somebody finally. Discord the hog, nice job. Remember, they have walls, be careful of that. At least, no, yeah, they do have walls, okay? You have your orb on somebody, good start. Yep.
I have learned from my experiences.
Nice shot. Save your Zenyatta ultimate for Blade. That's all I'm thinking about right now is I'm gonna... I love the sounds on this skin.
No one can hide from my sight.
Still waiting? Everything's fine. I mean, this is very chill. Only concern I have is if you overpeak the Widow too much, but there you go. Again, I want to point out to you, you're doing some good plays. Less is more. Remember that. I think you're like almost making these team fights chaotic when they're not. like you're making them very chaotic. I mean, you can play close as Zenyatta if you want to, but I'm telling you right now, as you climb, some of the Zenyatas, I don't know, maybe it could be different, I guess, but like, Zenyatta, the definition of glass cannon definitely exists. If the Zenyatta plays like right up there. So. Yep, he did this right. Good ultimate, clean, saved you all for the right spot. Discord orb was on the Genji. Straightforward, good Zenyatta play. Nice pick. Yeah, I just want. Let's see. You just keep blasting. I mean, I can agree with the statement of like using Zenyatta ultimate for yourself. I think that though, if like, I think it depends on the comp. And I can pause for it very quickly. Sorry. So like, I think like most of the time I'm okay with like using Zenyatta ultimate as a repositioning tool, right? But I think when you have very clear-cut combos that they have to win team fights, it's okay to save it. I mean, they have Grav, right? They're gonna have a Zarya. They're gonna have Nano Blade. I just think like, I think it would be fine to save it for these moments. But in most cases, yeah. I mean, I can't disagree. I mean, it's, they're really not using Harmony. That's what I'm saying. Just like put Harmony Orb on somebody and just keep it up. And again, I know sometimes you can kind of forget about it. And I think that's why the less is more advice can be good for the Zenyatta here, is because there's some good mechanical play here. But like, if you're putting yourself in spots where you're spinning in circles and constantly just like, you know, running around like Danny DeVito blasting, like you can slow it down a bit, because that playstyle I think will be a lot better as you climb more. Like that, like having a playstyle that plays that little bit more of a safety net, I think will be a lot better. Yep. Harmony Orb. Remember, if you look bottom, you can see that. Okay. I want you to do something now. I want you to start scanning the bottom left and just make sure that orb's on somebody. I'm not even joking. What I mean by bottom left, I mean like middle left where the ultimate is. If you look right there, it shows you who your orbs are on. You notice how right now there's not an active healing orb at all? See? You don't have it on anybody. So like the point I'm making is like, there's just no reason not to have it on somebody. It seems like you're almost waiting until one of your teammates gets critical and then you use it. And I think like, that's why I said earlier, like, hey, if you need a target to put it on, just put it on your Ana, right? Because your Ana could have survived that if you have your orb on prior and you're not using your healing orb as a reactionary tactic, and then just leave it on somebody. Like, that's it. That's all you need to do. Now, again, as you climb, you're going to have more targets you want to put it on. You want to be smarter with stuff, right? But, like, right now, this is just a basic strategy of keeping it on people. Now, you've kept it on your Orisa that whole time, but that means your Orisa was being healed for damage you don't even realize. So, yeah. Going back to the tab here. Again, you haven't really had to use your Zen ultimate for the effective heal, so you're fine on your heal numbers. But like you would have probably, I don't know what do you think? 1,000 more healing if you had an orb on people constantly? I feel like I've seen you barely have it on people throughout the whole game where what, 6 minutes in? Yeah, you would definitely have about 1,000 more healing, I would say. A little bit, you know, give or take, of course, if you just straight up kept an orb on somebody. Now you have it on Ana, right? Good, that's good. Honestly, I would have whiffed that and not gotten a kill. How do I know this? I did it on Sigma the other day. Okay. Orbs on Widow. Good job. Better. Oh, and there's the orbs off. The orb's off now. Now you pay attention. Put it on somebody. Put it on somebody. Put the orb on anybody. I don't care. Right now. Also, this could be a philosophy thing here on Discord orbs. For anybody who doesn't know, Discord orbs, when they go off of somebody, there's a cooldown on it, so you can't actually put an orb on that person again. I used to do this when I started the climb back and support a little bit, where I would spam my Discord orb because I'm so used to, like I would spam my Discord orb on everybody because I could. Nowadays, you want to be a little bit more careful. A little bit more careful with how you put your orbs on people. Because like, if they're all next to a wall, they can line of sight it very easily. So just be wary of over spamming it. Maybe you can like, you know, don't put it on their tank just yet, or put it on their tank early because the tank's the easy one to do, but don't put it on their DPS at that point. Like their Genji, you can line of sight it easily. Wait to the right moment. Things like that, but yeah. In this situation, again, you're going to be playing to Zen ult the Blade. Of course, if things go wild and there's no time, different story, but I think you would do this, so. Yeah, that cooldown could be long. I mean, I don't mind that cooldown. I think it actually allows counterplay, which is nice, but there you go. Pop your ult. Easy. Even if your teammate gets the kill there, that is the most, like, that is the cookie cutter way to use your Zen ultimate if you need to. Straight up. You prevent an ultimate from getting any value. Regardless if your teammate's getting the kill, you're playing it safe, and that's okay. I think with Zenyatta ultimate, that is okay. Again, as you climb, you'll probably use it more as a repositioning tool, like as in, like, you can survive the dive, but a little bit too aggro here. Okay, never mind. Well, if that's the case, you're not too aggro here. I'm going to assume that was communicated, Because if that wasn't communicated, you were going back to spawn. All right. I mean, hey, it's a good play. Obviously, you overextended there, but I get it. If I was in that same spot, I'm probably doing the same thing. You'll be back in time.
We will claim victory this day.
Ooh! Positioning can be key. This is why I still think that sometimes you should play further back than playing right in front of them. I mention this all the time about Zenyatta. Some of the hardest Zenyatas to play against are the ones with like really good positioning because you don't have any fall off on your damage, right? If I'm correct, you don't have any fall off. So long range, if you can get good with those right clicks, you're in a good spot. So thankfully it seems like your teammates are getting kills, but you should not be taking that duel right there. Like that is not a duel you want to take. Again, I know you've killed the Tracer a few times, but like I would rather have my Zenyatta up in that situation, playing an angle and keeping the Tracer out of a team fight by doing one set of damage and chasing them around. Instead, you lose the team fight, and there you go. And that goes back to the less is more situation, where you have a lot of really cool mechanical plays, but I feel like now you're just playing the hero like you would play a Tracer or a Cassidy than you would play a Zenyatta. And I really need to see a bit more of the... this is just a positioning issue. Like, straight up. Like, yeah, a lot of your mistakes happen because you're just not in the correct spots, and then you just end up overreacting to the play, and then next thing you know, you're just blasting around the map. So, there's a lot you can clean up on. Stat check? There you go. You know, the stat line. The damage is there. I still think the healing output could be a little bit higher. Again, you missed out on so many orbs. Listen, I'm not looking for Zenyatta to have 30,000 healing, right? But I do think you probably missed out on 1,000 plus healing by just not having a heal on somebody at all times. It's just a good habit to get into. Keep in mind, the healing orb does not apply the same way as the Discord orb, so if your teammate line of sights it, you can reapply it the moment you see them again. You're not going to get a cooldown timer on that orb. So just keep that in mind, too, if that was something that you were thinking of. I don't think you were, but it's a good note to have. Discord orb, cooldown when they line of sight of it, and when they line of sight it. Healing orb, no cooldown, okay? Make sense? You said you don't know why they got the double harmony one not to use it? Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't even pick up on that. I didn't even think about it because I was just so concentrated on that. So that's a good point out on that, too. Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think, like, if they were around that 4,000 healing mark, it would make sense. Keep in mind, though, and I want to get really careful with talking about, like, data on the scoreboard here, because, like, healing numbers and damage numbers sometimes don't tell the full story. So, like, I want to get really careful with being like, oh, you should have 4,000 healing by now, right? I want to reiterate here, the reason why I think they should have around 4,000 healing is because I watched them not use the healing orb. So I have the information to understand why they're not getting those heals. This doesn't mean that you go and hit tab, see that your Zenyatta has 2,800 heals, because you might watch your Zenyatta and realize that your teammates are taking minimal poke damage and you just don't have enough time for healing, or you have an Ana who has gone full heal bot and just heals for 11,000, right? So I want to get that very clear here, where the numbers won't always tell the full story. So I'm able to realize that they could probably have more healing here because I'm seeing that happen in the spectator, okay? So I want to reiterate that here, all right? I want to be very careful with having the scoreboard used as like a telling the full picture. This one is obvious because I'm watching them not put healing orbs on. So I'm bringing that up in the VOD now with that information that I see. That makes, I just want to get that clear, okay? I don't want to set a standard of like, oh, you don't have 4,000 healing and a half, what are you doing? Because sometimes you're going to have games like that. It just happens, right? This is a game where I think you have a little bit more of it. Anyway, let's keep going. All right. Now, if you wanted to know a healing orb target now, you have one. Vendetta. Put it on Vendetta. That's an easy target. If you have to, okay, orb up, orb up. Get your Ana orb. Remember, if you just keep an orb on your Ana, it's also a safe one. Vendetta or Ana, always have an orb up on him right now. I just make it a habit. Nope, never mind. I mean, you could always just take a duel with a Hanzo. You don't have to put yourself in these ridiculous 1v1 spots. You can play distance, I'm telling you. Just practice your right click. A little bit of advice, since I sucked with right clicks for a long time. Don't move your mouse after you shoot. Sometimes I move my last one. Yeah, I mean, this is just... This is so fixable though. Like when you have good mechanics on Zenyatta, just being able to see that you're not using some of your utility correctly or using some of your abilities correctly, it's so fixable. So I'm gonna pause for a second here. One, you notice how you're in a really far spot and they can't do anything? You just gotta kill. You just gotta kill. You played back, you weren't running in front of their team, you weren't running in circles, you weren't moving around all over the map, you know, you weren't going the Danny DeVito playstyle there. Did you see all that? That is what I'm talking about. All you needed to do was just chill. The less is more got you a kill, right? The less is more got you a kill. So, yep. Yeah, stay back. You don't need to push up. It's the same thing. You don't need to push up. Now you can get on the cards. Play here. Don't go any further. Okay. That Hanzo could have easily killed you right there. Okay, it's gonna be a really bad analogy here for people who don't know like football. But it's very similar to, okay, not similar, I can't really compare it. But if you ever watch like the NFL, there's a thing where really, really good running backs wait for the play to develop and wait for the block to happen. And other running backs sometimes will just go with the play call. So like the play calls run straight up to the right and they just run into one of their tackles or they run into like a guard and they just get a 2-yard gain. Some of the real, you know, sometimes what you see though as players develop and get better, they will start to wait for the block to develop and they'll wait. They'll be patient. Less is more. Like they're not like just running into them. They're wait a second. So it's something that I wanted to kind of point out here where Zenyatta, you don't need to like force these plays. Like if you play far back, you're going to find value. Like if you played sightlines, you're going to find far value, right? And that's something that can happen. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not everybody will get that analogy, but there's probably analogies in every sport for that one, you know? Here we go. All right, so Zenyatta ult now. You can use it for yourself if you need to. They just switched Zarya. So you can go one rotation now of using your ult. You can ult this. You can ult this. Keep your teammate alive. You can definitely ult this. Yep. This is what I mean. Like, now you have an opportunity to pop an ultimate against that and save them, and you don't use it. Now, maybe you're thinking they're going to have a grab, but honestly, like, I think you can build 2 ultimates by the time they get that grab on Dorado. If they don't, you'll have an ultimate for the next rotation. I think you can keep that momentum there and get a free kill. Yep. How's it going?
Destroy them, bud.
Here we go.
Rocket barrage in.
You hear this correctly.
Enemy contact.
I'm here for healing.
Oh, what is going on? Now I'm curious. What is? First of all, like, remember when I said you were hearing that right? You were hearing that right. But what is happening over here? Okay, that makes way more sense. I'm like, what's going on? Yes, I thought about that using the pedal, but then I didn't know if people were going to be on the cart. I already thought about that one. I was wondering what's going on over here. I'm like, I'm hearing these sounds. I'm like, are you hearing this? Because then I was like, hi, everybody. I was like, I think you should trust the sound there. You heard that. All right, here we go. Yeah, I thought about taking the pedal up on the high ground too, but then like I wasn't quite sure if anybody was going to push the cart, so I'm okay with the Zenyatta being on the cart. Save your Zen for grab unless your Orisa gets low. Grab. There's the ult. You know what I meant. This is the, yeah, you're just scoring them all. That's correct. Yep. You had to ult that. That is, but again, this goes back to what I talked about. Like after your Orisa takes over the cart there, you want to back away. So first of all, Keep in mind when I was saying this end of the cart, right here was where I wanted this end of the cart because you had an Ana over here, you had Ashe up on high ground, you had your Orisa playing in front. But as your Orisa took over the cart right here, you want to back up over here. Then what happens is they nano the Zarya can't make that play. Then you just right click in the back here. See? There you go. That's the whole sequence. Hope that makes sense. Like that's how you want to sequence that whole thing. Because if you're back here after your Orisa takes over the cart, you don't have line of sight in the Zarya. That Zarya can't go for a free play, which means then the Zarya is going to go for basically targeting your Orisa. The Orisa is going to have to back away, but in that situation, now you have a better time to Zen ultimate. There you go. I just wanted to summarize that whole point. Either way, team gets the point. It works, but we need to clean that up because as you climb, you'll hear me say that a lot. Things will work, but I want you to be able to clean that up because as you climb, some of these plays won't work anymore, and you need to adjust that. So that way when you get to that rank, you're not like as surprised, right? So. Yeah. I just feel like it's good to develop good habits, even like there's things that like I'm not gonna have you do yet because you know every rank will play differently, but I think it's good to develop some of like the easy habits you can do, like good positioning and things like that, you know, that you can pick up on. It doesn't require aim or anything. It might help the aim too. Like right now, that Zarya shouldn't even be able to hit you. Like you could still position yourself here to not be hit by that Zarya, right? So like even giving that Zarya a chance is a problem. You probably go deep with the. I mean, you could, yeah. I mean, you could go technically deep with the ultimate and then back away. Either way, you don't stay as far in as you do. Yeah, but I think the grab might have caught the Zen there. I don't remember the whole sequence, but I think the grab caught the Zenyatta anyway, and it wouldn't have mattered. Yep.
It takes 100 times to
That's the problem. Is I think even if they tried to escape, that was going to get them. So they would have had to do it sooner because the grab was still going to happen.
Are we moving the payload or what?
Carmi, thank you for the 9 months with the Prime sub. Thank you. Appreciate it, Carmi. You know, that's weird. I'm not even mad. I'm actually happy that you went to go for a play there. That was just a better play by Cassidy. I'm not even joking. Like, it's okay to go up there at high ground and set up for that, like, nice long sight line. I just think the Cassidy was set up for that, and you just kind of got rolled. You just don't go there again now. Or you just change your approach. You heard the Cassidy a little bit up there, but, like, I think I would have been a little bit confused on where they exactly were. So, because Zenyatta's silent, so maybe you're thinking, like, okay, they're moving around. They're not going to, like, look for this. Mistake here. I just want to point this out. I know that you might have heard the Cassidy to the left, but why not clear that out now that happened to you? These are little things you need to pick up on, like player tendencies, how they play it. So like when you came around the corner that you didn't really quite clear it out the same way, give yourself the information. Just do like a little like jiggle peek, right? Peek around the corner. If there's nobody up there, now make that play. It just makes it easier so that way even if there was a Cassidy there and they hinder you, when you do that jiggle peek, you're going to be able to get away. And then if they overcommit to you, you can get time or you have time to react or have your teammates help you. Good job taking it. I love the positioning, though, now that you have it. Yeah, position is great. Do you notice how you're up on a high ground and nobody can shoot at you and everything's great here? Do you see this? That's why I like when you're doing that. Like, that is what I'm talking about right there. Remember, Ana grenades exist. Be careful of that. Back away. Okay, so let's talk about this. All their team is coming from spawn. You have your ultimate. Dude, look at this sight line now. Yes, I know that you're on their spawn side, but like these are the type of things you want to do. You keep putting yourself in front of people. So rather than like position yourself in front of a nanoed Cassidy, why not go back here and get a sight line? This could go way different, right? There's so many things that you can do in these fights that I think that you're just, you automatically default to running at them in a straight line. Like you're like, I'm going to go at them. I'm going to play right next to them. And again, there's moments where that's going to work, but you're doing it all the time. Like, I watch you play long sight lines, and it's great. Oh, we have a Kiriko. Okay. Last second Kiriko swap, which actually is probably a fine swap because you just use your ult. So we get to see whatever amount of time of Kiriko here. How about that point? Looking pretty good, huh? Yep. Saw that coming from a mile away. I'm looking at the point. I'm like, no one's touching that. I'm like, I can already see what was gonna happen. Because like basically, just to give chat the idea, I don't remember the exact time, and I want to say it's 3 seconds. I think if I'm correct, I think 3 seconds is the when you need to touch the cart. Otherwise, if you touch it anytime before that and don't go back to it, it won't count. I think it's 3 seconds. I could be wrong on the timing. So basically what that means is if it's 3 seconds or below, if you tap the cart, you can get off the cart and it will go into overtime, but it will do, you know, that timer, like the bar that goes down. So you can go back and forth to tap the point like that. It's an important thing to note. If the Orisa tapped that right now at this point, you can back up and then kind of do that play until you get your ultimates or find a pick or something like that. So there is ways to do that in overtime. It's why you can see some really cool overtime fights that can happen. So yeah, Zenyatta, listen, you have some your mechanics are actually pretty good. It's funny because you have the aim, and this goes back to where I talk about that as you climb, you need to adjust to other parts of your playstyle. You can have really good aim, but that if you have bad positioning, players are going to take advantage of that. I want you to spend your next few Zenyatta games playing more like back and use your sightlines to be able to do really good right clicks and left clicks across the map rather than just be up in their face all the time. I really do believe that you spend so much time kind of just giving them free kills that if you just played this safe, I don't even think that you're going to Kiriko here. I think you win that team fight prior and you're going to the next round of this. That's what you got to do. Clean it up. Clean up that part of your gameplay. I think you're going to see a lot of progress because I think the mechanics are there. But I think right now you're just not even think about the stairs situation there. Like, you know, like when the Cassidy was there, right? You go there, the Cassidy kills you. Okay, you know what? I've had that happen before, right? You get caught off guard by that. The next time you go there, you don't even clear it. Like, right? Yeah, maybe you saw their Cassidy, but what if like a Sojourn decided to take that angle? Same thing can happen to you. So clear spots out and clear spots out and play sight lines, and I think you're going to see really good results. And by the way, when you establish a good positioning, for example, right here, don't drop off this position. You have no reason to. You keep this positioning, it is so strong. What do? You drop down here, you give him free kills, and then the whole game's lost. Again, not fully on you, but I think you could have played that better. Hitting tab here. There's the stats. Damage looks great, right? But I still think you missed probably a couple thousand healing. I forgot about that part too. Put your healing orb on people, please. Just put it on people. At this point, I'm not even worried about your target selection. Just put it on someone because you didn't a lot of the game. All right, but you can see huge improvement if you clean up that stuff real quick. So you got this. You absolutely got this. Like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't, leave a comment. All that helps. You want to submit your own Spectating. My Discord is where to do that. Outside of that, if you want to watch more of these videos, it's gonna pop up right here on the bottom. Click that. It's gonna be a good one. With that being said, hope you have an amazing day /night.